when you stop explaining yourself, that's when life is gonna change, y'all. I promise you. Like, just stop explaining yourself. You don't have to explain yourself to no one. I learned this very early on in my life, actually, man. So if you clicked on this video and you've been explaining yourself a lot, this one is definitely for you, man. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Cam. You know what I'm saying? For the ones who don't know me, my name is Cam from Atlanta. I do vlog, public interview, motivational videos, just like these. You know what I'm saying? And today I want to help y'all on why explaining yourself is just not the thing to do, and why you should stop explaining yourself, right? You know what I'm saying? When you stop explaining yourself, you definitely gonna see a shift, right? Like I said, I learned this early on in my life, right? So it wasn't hard for me to understand. You know, I think I learned from like a very bad experience, you know what I mean? I might give a story time on it, right? But not in an arrogant way. You know, it's gonna shift in a focused way, right? So explaining yourself, it just drains your energy. That's just a waste of your energy, right? You don't have to, you know what I mean? Your life is your life. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So stop arguing, stop comparing. You feel me? All those things are just slowly kind of, I would say, brain rot in a way, right? You mean me? Feel me? So stop convincing or trying to convince, you know, someone that, you know, about anything, especially about your life. You feel me? So if people rock with you, they're gonna rock with you. You know what I'm saying? If they on your team, they're on your team, right? So you don't have to defend your vision if it's pure. You get it? So if your vision is pure, then, you know, it should be so easy to just roll straight towards it and not explain yourself. It should be easy for you to kind of deal with a person who, some people kind of try to bait you into explaining yourself or explaining, like, you know, y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all have been through it before, right? So this usually happens because when you're clear on your direction, the noise, it starts to fade away. You know what I mean? Like your vision starts to get more clear. You know what I mean? As time passes on. So it could be very lonely. Like, that could be very lonely. You know what I'm saying? When the noise fades and when you lock in on that one vision, and you know what I mean, you're not really paying attention to the outside noise. You know what I mean? It's really like a good thing, but the place that it puts you in, it's not really a good place. Like, feeling wise, you know what I mean? Like, nobody likes to be lonely, right? So yeah, that is definitely gonna have you like in like a little box, you know what I mean, in a way. But that's cool, you know what I'm saying? All these things are important because, like I always tell y'all know y'all have to go through that lonely phase in order to stay locked in on your craft. You know, it's gonna take separate time with you, you know what I'm saying, alone, especially to get the necessary time you need to work to get to where you need to go, right? You know what I'm saying? So put the time in. You know what I'm saying? Once that noise fades, then, you know, that's why it feels so lonely, right? So a lot of people, y'all gotta understand that also your lane, whatever lane you in, you know, there's gonna be a lot of people that don't really understand your lane or your vision, right? So always be always notice that, I'm sorry, it's early in the morning, but always notice that, yeah, it's never going to be like, everyone is not gonna be 100% on like what you're doing, you know what I mean? Or like what you stand 10 on, you feel me? Or what you want to rep, right? Everybody is not gonna be always, you know, with you. It's gonna be some people that disagree. So, You know, that's just how kind of life goes, right? Life is just a crazy thing but that's cool because how many people is it in the world? You know what I'm saying? It's millions and billions and trillions of people in the world, and it's like not everybody is gonna, feel you on your vision, man. Like I remember streaming like a while ago. I was playing like streaming 2K, and somebody joined and commented like, I just really don't like people like you. And I'm like, huh? Like, why wouldn't you like me, right? And then they were like, people that play games, right? So I don't know, that kind of threw me off, but at the same time, it showed me like, wow, that was like negative, but I needed to see that so I could feel that, you know what I mean? And it showed me like, yeah, not a lot of people are going to be 100% on what you're doing. You know what I mean? That was a long time ago, but that was just the example of how, that happened in my life, right? So explaining is for people who doubt themselves. If you're a person who doubts themselves, then if you're a person who doubts themselves, then you're gonna be explaining yourself a lot. If you're catching yourself explaining yourself a lot, that means you doubt yourself a lot. You know what I mean? You wanna be like pure on, what you do, what you wanna do, right? Execution is for people who believe. So, are you a person that executes? If so, then that means you have belief, you have hope, you have faith. Now, y'all, please don't ever forget about God, because he's number one. You know what I'm saying? He comes first. You got to be right with him in order for him to give you the mindset that you need to stay consistent and to block out all the negatives and to block out all the, things that don't need to be around you in your life and things as such, right? So I think it comes from pride too. A lot of people who are prideful, you know what I mean, explain themselves because they want the next person to validate them in general. Like me, I've never been the type of person who just seeks validation. Like it might seem like that. I like attention and all these things, but nah, I just do what I like. I just do what I like to do. You feel me? If I want to get on TikTok and post like a video of me like lip singing on music, then I do it. You know what I mean? But it's just out of the joy in my heart. You feel me? So a lot of people are gonna be explaining themselves when they doubting themselves. Come on, Z. But a lot of people are gonna be explaining themselves when they really doubt themselves. So that's really what it stems from, right? If you've been feeling quiet lately, if you've been moving differently, you know what I'm saying? You're not falling off. That just means you're leveling up, right? There's gonna be like a quiet bracket, that's just like where you're gonna be thinking to yourself like, man, like, what I am doing, is what I'm doing worth it? I'm sorry, but is what I'm doing worth it? So you're gonna ask yourself questions like that, or what's another one? Like this. That's really the main one that I said, but like just questioning yourself honestly. You know what I mean? Because you gonna know what's right for you, right? That's why I be making these videos to motivate y'all and to keep y'all with the information that y'all need to carry along with y'all. And so should I, right? So that don't mean you're falling off. You know what I mean? So let your words speak and let your consistency answer questions. So pretty much what that's saying is pretty much like your consistency is gonna speak for itself, y'all. So once you're in a consistent space, or you're just working hard or whatever, got the noise blocked out and everything like that, man, that's just how it's gonna go, man. Just focus on trying to work on your craft and better yourself. That's always how it works. It's so essential, you know what I mean? So Yeah, man, don't be explaining yourself, because if you're explaining yourself on a day-to-day basis, you know what I mean, then you already come off like that kind of person. You already come off like that kind of person. You want to be just an executor, you know? So like, for example, if you show up somewhere, you know what I mean, or you see you see someone, you know what I mean, you want to be noticed. You want somebody to tell you, like, be able to tell you, like, they see your hard work. I'm sorry, so it was hard to kind of like put that together, but yeah, like, say you go out to get something to eat, and then you run into, you run into a friend, or you run into a friend. Yeah, you run into a friend. Like, it just goes from there. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like social media definitely like cooks a lot of like my generation's brains. You know what you feel me? I feel like my generation in general, social media is like the main source of what everybody's looking at. Kind of treated like TV almost. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if you run into a friend, I would rather your friend say, man, you've been working, man, you've been getting it. Like, I see your grind, right? I see your grind, right? Rather than, so what you been up to? Like, what you been doing? You know, you been okay? Like, I'd rather be that. You know what I mean? So I had to kind of break that down so y'all could understand. And yeah, man, at the end of the day, you don't need approval. Just make sure that you're grinding your progress. Just make sure that you're making progress throughout your life. It could be anything, man. Just make that progress. Work hard, you know what I mean? And get better at every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about planning, setting goals for yourself, writing your goals down. Once you achieve them goals, go bigger. It's all about bettering yourself. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure people with a mansion probably want another mansion or a bigger mansion. You feel me? Or they want a jet. Now, you see what I'm saying? So always push yourself to keep progress on your belt and keep that execution in your life. So it's going to be so important, so essential for you guys, man. I'm telling you. So stop explaining and start executing, right? I'm glad y'all tapped in for this video, man. Feel me? Hope this message touched one of y'all, boys or girls. Y'all stay tuned on this channel for the lives. I will be live every Saturday, so stay tuned for that. If you made it to the end of this video, comment Crocs, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video, man. We're going